I guess I've been waiting for this for a long time. I think a lot of people have. I first heard about 2012 back in 1976, and it seemed like very, very far away in the future and very kind of science fiction, future sci-fi energy. We're here. It's an election year. It's an amazing year of shifting energies on the planet. And I guess the one comment I want to make is that most people think it's the end. It may be the end of the world as we know it, or as it has been, kind of coming out of the 20th century into the 21st century. But I think it's really the beginning of, really a downstreaming of an incredible amount of consciousness in every area of life. I think in some sense we're kind of on the precipice or the eve of a global renaissance, technological and artistic, social, media, everything, communication. And so that's pretty much it. I wish good luck to everybody.
I'm not going to let you off that easy.
Okay, ask me a question then.
So, what do you think? When the 2012 rolls around, are we going to see? I mean, I've been hearing all kinds of crazy things from DNA upgrades to, a mass consciousness awakening, which we see some stirrings of with Occupy and.
Well, I think the 2012 phenomenon is happening right now. I mean, we're in it. We're in a whole field of energy that's shifting the matrix that we live in. In a sense, it's already shifted, and physically we have to catch up with it. Our systems and our. The other thing I remind people is that, the whole Mayan conversation about time is that it's holographic time. Time exists in the present moment, and the smallest part of time contains the entire image. So, it's all of eternity is in the present moment. So probably a lot of people, when they feel the struggle that's going on in their personal life and they see the struggle that's going on the planet, not to read too much into it and take it personally, it's really the shifting of the energy field that we live in. We don't really understand it. We're just beginning to understand it. That's what the 21st century is about, is understanding the nature of energy and thought and intention and the power of emotion and the power of consciousness. So we're really awakening into this. We're being awakened by the energy itself.
It literally is the age of Aquarius. I mean, according to the
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of
stars.
things, that even whatever that means is still maybe a couple of years, 100 years away, a couple of centuries away.
Interesting.
And that, but we are in a renaissance. The way the Florence Renaissance and the Renaissance of Italy that happened in the 1500s, again, was a downstreaming of consciousness and intelligence, and it was received by many people. We know of a few, famous names that persist through history. But living in that time, that was the modern world of that time, and there's an incredible profusion of intelligence and thought and creativity and art and the evolution of banking. It's all systems, everything evolves. Everything's evolving at the same rate.
Now, I can remember a few years ago people talking about health food and healthy food, and I was thinking, oh, that's nuts. I love the food we have. And now I really have learned a lot more, and I see this. I mean, are we going to see people waking up to this on a more mass scale as far as the food we eat is really such a big thing, isn't it?
What's happening, especially I believe in the United States, what I'd like to believe is the power of pop consciousness. That we write it off as superficial, but it's anything but superficial. And we're sort of, our culture is like the masters of pop culture. We can change our whole flow of ideas in a very brief moment in time. An artist or somebody comes and influences our culture in a positive way or a negative way, it doesn't matter. And then we're shifting off into a whole different level of expression. So I think even the idea of reality TV and this whole process is a brilliant process of pop culture where we refine the art, and what we're getting is all sorts of new ideas and expressions, forms of expression that come out of the grassroots of American art culture, which is what we're really good at.
Yeah.
We're good at adapting ourselves at the grassroots level. And I think politically, because I don't, politics, one way or the other, but I think in terms of consciousness, I think this is what Obama embodies.
Yeah.
I think the other guy does too, whoever the other guy is.
Yeah.
The two-party system's good because it creates a polarity, and out of polarity comes the movement of energy.
Oh, very good.
So we're just being used by higher consciousness to lay down the tracks of the next generation.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. It makes it seem less hopeless.
It's not hopeless.
Yeah. Well, politics makes me feel depressed so many times, but I like what you're saying very much. I really, really appreciate that. And, let's talk a little bit about your October trip. You got a big trip.
I have a trip coming to taking a group down to Mexico. We're going to really into the heart of the Mayan culture in Mexico and Guatemala. We're going to Chiapas, and then along the Usumacinta River into Guatemala to Palenque. From Palenque in Chiapas, and we're going to Tikal in Guatemala. I'm working with a gentleman named Miguel Angel, who's well known in Mexico. He's a Mayan scholar. He's also been apprenticed to the Mayan elders in terms of being a leader of ceremonial, just ritual and ceremonial Mayan process. And together, we're really going to go to some really amazing power spots in Mexico, again, and also in Guatemala. We're going to go to a place where the Mayan time code was actually downloaded, and we're also going to go to a place where the Mayans were temples where they use these energies to communicate with, intelligence from other dimensions, extraterrestrials, whatever, Pleiadian, Arcturian energy, at least.
And that's where the downloads came from, you just mentioned?
And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a group of people down there. Hopefully we're going to film it and document it. And one of the things that I do is to channel a lot of the that consciousness of the Arcturian Pleiadian energy. So
isn't that funny how we met in 2008 before I started working on any of this higher consciousness stuff?
I know, man. It's a trip to see you here.
Here I am.
It's really great.
On a spiritual rant.